Welcome back. Here is our next video from CA Final Paper 4 or ICA booklet on MCQs and case scenarios. Let's start with the MCQs first. Uh, this booklet you can download it from ICA BOS Knowledge Portal. Okay, Board of Studies Knowledge Portal. Let's go to the first MCQ. In compliance to the Companies Act 2013, at least one woman director shall be on board of such class or classes of companies as may be prescribed. Ms. Ria is keen to hold the office of woman director in the company. She has selected some companies in which there are vacancies for the woman director. Advise Ms. Ria in selecting the companies which are mandatorily required to appoint a woman director. Okay, let's go through the provisions of woman director first. See, at least one woman director shall be on board of such class or classes of companies as may be prescribed in Rule 3 of Companies Appointment and Qualification of Director Rules 2014. Rule 3 provides that the following classes of companies shall appoint at least one woman director. Every listed company, every other public company having paid up share capital of 100 crores or more, or turnover of 300 crores or more. So this is the criteria. Now based on this criteria, we'll evaluate the given options. Okay. The first option is PQR Limited, which is an unlisted company and having a paid up share capital of 150 crore rupees as per the last date of latest audited financial statements. So this is an unlisted company and the paid up share capital is 100, the condition is 100 crores or more, but here the actual share capital is 150 crores. So this company is mandatorily required to appoint an woman director. Okay, we'll go through the next option. ABC Limited is a listed company. Irrespective of the turnover and the paid up share capital limits, every listed company should have a mandatorily woman director. So ABC Limited is also required to appoint an woman director. We'll go through option C. XYZ Limited, which is an unlisted company having a turnover of 350 crores or more. So this is an unlisted company, and what is the limit as per the Rule 3? That is turnover of 300 crores or more. In this current situation, XYZ Limited's turnover is 350 crores, and therefore all PQR Limited, ABC Limited and XYZ Limited is required to appoint women director mandatorily. Therefore, the correct option to this question is option D, all of the above. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. KDS Agro Private Limited, a newly incorporated company, has not mentioned the names of first directors of the company in its articles of association. Referring to the provisions of Companies Act 2013, who shall be deemed to be the first directors of the company? This is a simple question. You can directly answer it. Subscribers to the memorandum of a company shall be deemed to be the first directors, but still I'll take you through the study material. Just give me a second. Yes, here it goes. Appointment of first directors. Where no provision is made in the articles of a company for the appointment of first directors, the subscribers to the memorandum who are individuals shall be deemed to be the first directors of the company until the directors are duly appointed. Therefore, the subscribers to the memorandum of the memorandum of association shall be deemed to be the first directors. Therefore, option B is the correct option for this question. We'll move on to the next question. The turnover of XYZ Limited as on the last date of latest audited financial statements is 400 crores. An intermittent vacancy of a woman director arises on 15th of June 2018 in the company. The immediate board meeting was held on 14th of October 2018. The vacancy of the woman director shall be filled by. So it is 3 months from the date of vacancy or the next board meeting, whichever is later. Let me just take you through the provision. See, here it is. Filling of intermittent vacancy of woman director. Any intermittent vacancy of an woman director shall be filled up by the board at the earliest but not later than the next board meeting or 3 months from the date of such vacancy, whichever is later. Therefore, now count 3 months from the date of vacancy. So 3 months from 15th of June 2018. So it is July, August, September. So 15th of September or The next board meeting is 14th of October, whichever is later. Therefore, 14th October 2018 is a later date. So it should be filled up by 14th of October 2018, which is option D. We'll move on to the next question. Amar Textiles Limited, a listed company engaged in the production of furniture and fittings in Pune. The company is having 50,000 small shareholders. The small shareholders wanted to elect a small shareholder director amongst themselves so that the issues were resolved during the board meetings at the earliest. 500 small shareholders served a notice for appointment of a small shareholder in the board. Decide the validity of notice by the small shareholders. Let me just take you through the provision directly. First, see, strength of small shareholders required for appointment of their director. A listed company may, upon notice of not less than 1000 small shareholders or 1/10 of the total number of such shareholders, whichever is lower. So it is either 1/10 of shareholders or 1000 shareholders, whichever is lower. Now let's count 1/10 of the total shareholders. 50,000 into 110. So it is getting to 5,000 shareholders. 1,000 or 5,000, whichever is lower, means we will be getting 1,000 as the answer. But in the current situation, only 500 small shareholders have served a notice for appointment, which is not correct. Therefore, notice by 500 small shareholders is not valid, and the company may appoint a small shareholder director on the requisition of 1,000 small shareholders. So at least 1,000 members of them should give a notice to the company. Therefore, option B is the correct option. See, option A is saying 500 is valid. Notice by 500 shareholders is valid, which is not correct. And option C is saying notice by 500 shareholders is not valid, and the company may appoint small shareholder director on the requisition of 5,000 small shareholder director. No, the provision is saying 1/10 of the shareholders or 1,000, whichever is lower. So option C is also wrong. Option D says small shareholder director cannot be appointed by the company as the company doesn't fulfill the condition of appointment of small shareholder director, which is not correct. Okay, we'll move on to the next question, question number 5. Mr. Q, a director of PQR Limited, proceeding on a foreign tour for 6 months, appointed Mr. Y as an alternate director to act for him during his absence. The articles of company provided for appointment of alternate directors. Mr. Q claims that he has a right to appoint alternate director. Examine the validity of Mr. Q's claim. Now, let me just take you through the provision. See, alternate director, section 161 subsection 2. According to this section, the board of directors of a company may, if so authorized by its articles or by resolution passed by the company in general meeting, appoint a person not being a person holding any alternate directorship for any other director in the company or holding a directorship in the same company to act as an alternate director for the company during his absence for a period of not less than 3 months from India. So, the provision states the power of appointment of alternate director is given to the board of directors, but not a single director. And therefore, the claim of Mr. Q is not valid. So, who shall appoint an alternate director? Board of directors should appoint an alternate director, provided Articles of Association provides so. Okay, now we'll go through the options. Option A says claim by Mr. Q is valid as the articles provide for appointment of alternate directors. See, articles is providing appointment of alternate directors, but who should appoint such alternate directors? Board of directors should appoint, not Mr. Q. Okay, Mr. Q alone cannot appoint. So option A is wrong. Option B says claim by Mr. Q is not valid as the authority to appoint alternate director has been vested in the board of directors only, and that too subject to the empowerment by the articles. So this is the correct option. It is saying the actual power to appoint an alternate director vests with the board of directors, and also it is subject to the empowerment by the article. So option B is the correct option, but still we'll go through the other options. Mr. Y cannot be appointed as alternate director and Mr. Q proceeds for a foreign tour for 6 months only. No, if any director is going out for a foreign tour for more than 3 months, then he can appoint an alternate director. Okay, option D says none. Option A, C, D are not the correct options. Okay, with this we have completed 5 MCQs from this booklet. I hope these videos are helpful to you. If you like these videos, please do like, share and subscribe. And I can promise you that I'll be completing all the MCQs by 4th of July. I know that it is very close to the exams, but still you should spare with me. I had very little time to proceed with these videos because I'm a full-time employee elsewhere. But surely I can promise that this particular MCQs will be completed by 4th of July 2021. Okay. Thanks for watching. Do share with your friends and help them to revise at the earliest.